You're listening to LSPN, the authority on sports-related podcasts.
The Calallen Wildcats weekly press conference is brought to you by the Calallen Touchdown Booster Club. The Touchdown Booster Club exists to support and promote the Calallen High School football program by uniting students, parents, coaches, and the community.
The Calallen Football Show is sponsored by Rat Hole Drilling for all your rat hole, mouse hole, and cellar construction needs. ratholedrilling.com. Also by Nolan's Restaurant. Nolan's Restaurant has been a Corpus Christi tradition. Whether you're craving choice steaks, Gulf Coast seafood, real pit barbecue, or their famous original poor boy sandwich, Nolan's delivers high-quality, scratch-made favorites that feel like home. Come taste generations of flavor at Nolan's. We also want to thank Meijer for their support.
All right, everybody join me and welcome to Coach Charlie Reed to the show. Coach, how things going?
Going good. How are you?
Wonderful. And, must feel good after the big win against Alice. Talk to me about that game because it seemed pretty one-sided.
Yeah, I was proud of our kids coming back and responding from week one. A lot of the things that we had talked about that we wanted to emphasize, I thought we came out and played a lot better. Mainly from a physicality front. Mm-hmm. I thought we played a lot more physical than what we did week one, and I thought our kids played hard did a lot of good things on all three phases. Still felt like obviously we're not a finished product by any means, and had a lot of missed opportunities that we left out there, but we're still a work in progress and still, getting better. But obviously we were really happy to get the win and especially versus, a really good Alice team.
Yeah, definitely. If you could walk me through the flow of that game.
Well, I thought our defense played really well. We kicked off to them to start the game and had a 3-and-out, held them. And our first offensive drive, we sputtered a little bit, punted away, and defense held them again. And we get the ball back in two series, and I think in a matter of about 3 plays, we scored 14 points. And so it was, we were kind of on a roll. We gave up one before halftime. They came out in a set that we hadn't seen before and just didn't align to it very well. Made an adjustment after that, and really, that was, from a defensive side, that was really the only big play that we gave up was that one long touchdown run. But went into halftime 14-6, and then came out in the second half, and we drove the ball well. Had opportunities down in the red zone a couple times and just didn't punch it in, and we missed a field goal, but it ended up being 20-6. And again, obviously we played a lot better than we did week one, and so that's the main thing is we want to be better this week than we were last week, but again, really proud of our kids for the way they responded. I thought we, again, had a lot of guys that really stepped up and played well. So, got another big challenge this week, and our goal is the same, is to, continue to get better.
Nice. Well, you mentioned a lot of guys you really stood up. Call out some of those names because, like you said, all three aspects of the game, y'all won.
Sure. Defensively, I thought our D-line played well. I thought our linebackers played a lot better. Josh Novall and Jagger Baytek. Thought Justin Atkinson, all three of our linebackers played well. Thought, D-line-wise, thought Alfie Solis. We had talked about the week before about playing on their side of the line of scrimmage, and I thought we did that. Larry Sines, who's a two-way guy for us, plays D-line and plays fullback for us. I thought played really well. And, we had 2 interceptions. I thought our secondary played well. Drayson Gomez had an interception, and Reese Rusher also had an interception. I thought Ryder Reef had, I think, 14 tackles and 3 tackles for losses, and and then Chris Durham, other safety, I thought he played really well. Offensively, I thought our line played a whole lot better. Again, we came off the line and we got pushed and, had some running backs. I thought our freshman running back, Jimmy Tipton, is continuing to, I think, open a lot of eyes and had a long run for the first touchdown and broke some tackles, and he's a load. I thought Ricky Rodriguez, played well, and then, I thought our quarterback Connor Klossman threw some really good balls and did some good stuff. So again, there was a lot of positives and a lot of things that I thought we did well. The main thing for us is we've got a consistency right now is kind of our emphasis, and it can't be just flashes here and there. We've got to be consistent for 48 minutes.
Excellent. And shifting gears to this week, Monteverde, Mexico, last year, you beat them pretty handily, but I think you pointed out in the show last year, you never know who's going to show up with that team.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they were one of the best teams, non-district teams that we had played last year. I mean, they were really well coached. They were athletic. They had some size and they're hard to prepare for because you don't quite know what to expect.
Yeah.
Last year, the team that they sent was different than the team that Calallen had played the year before. So some of the things that we don't have a whole lot of tape on them. And so a lot of the things that we were preparing for was not what we saw. It's a select, team down there, and this team, has won their championship down there in Mexico the last 2 years. And, they've got quite a few of their guys that are coming back. One of them is a quarterback. Their quarterback is going to be, one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback that we see. He's really, really good. They've got some size and some speed, at receiver that they can get the ball to. And defensively, they play extremely hard. I thought they were really good tacklers last year, and they put a lot of pressure on you as far as loading the box and forcing you to have to play some one-on-one stuff on the outside. But we've got to play well. Again, they were really, really good last year, and I don't expect them to to be anything less this year. And so we've got to play well.
Yeah. So when you got a team like this where you have very little tape on, and because they're select, you never know if they've got new athletes. How do you game plan for them, or do you just say, "Look, let's focus on playing our game"?
Well, I think every week, starts out with focusing on us.
Yeah.
And us getting better. But, I think that we probably got a little bit better idea going into this year than we did last year, as far as just schematically kind of what we think that we're going to see. But, we're not going to reinvent the wheel. But we've got to execute what we do, and so it does pose a challenge just because you don't have a whole lot of film, and there's going to be some things that we haven't seen. But that's when you revert back to just base rules that we've been working on all summer long and all fall camp, and we've just got to execute in all 3 phases.
Excellent. And what about the health of the boys? How are things doing there?
We're a little bit banged up. You know, but I think we'll be okay. And, you know, we've had, you know, there's kind of a sickness bug that's been going around here, and we've had some guys that have been in and out of practice this week, but, you know, I think everybody's dealing with the same thing. So, but I think we'll be okay.
Nice. And you've got Parents' Night coming up for this game. How does that change things for you, whether it's scheduling or anything? Is there any change?
You know, it pushes our pregame back just a little bit, you know, but it really doesn't change a whole lot, you know, other than the fact that, you know, it just kind of reminds our kids that, you know, that they're playing for more than, you know, just themselves. And kind of like what we talked about last week with our Military Appreciation Night, you know, we want to go out and honor, you know, our loved ones and our families, you know, with how we play. And so it does, you know, it adds a little bit more incentive, and it kind of puts things in perspective. But, you know, but it's always a special night that, you know, we get to honor the parents and you know, family members that sacrifice a lot for our kids to be able to do what they do.
Right on. Well, once again, Coach, congratulations on the Alice win. And hopefully we're talking next week where you have taken that step and moved above 500. Although these games don't mean anything in the final, you know, tally, they mean something in the hearts of the fans.
Sure, absolutely.
Cool. I appreciate you, and we'll be talking next week.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
Take care.
Since 2012, JE Construction Services has built the roads and infrastructure that keeps South Texas moving. Their heavy civil expertise covers refinery work, underground utilities, paving, and more. If you want a dependable, full-service contractor, choose JE Construction Services. Visit their website at jecs.cc. That's JE Construction Services.
Did you play Texas high school football? If you did, you're part of an elite group, the Brotherhood of Texas High School Football. All football players, past and present, who have ever suited up in the Lone Star State are eligible. Go to LoneStarGridiron.com/brotherhood. And thank you for the part you played in the greatest sport in the greatest state.